In today's video, I'm going to be revealing what exactly made me fall in love with my partner. How he has not only taught me primary principles when it comes to masculinity, but how his leadership has actually inspired me and has made me into a better woman. And I'm making this video today to actually get real with you guys. I know I do a lot of videos telling you, how to be your best self, but I want to get a little bit deeper and actually tell you guys exactly the truth of what exactly made me fall in love with the person I am in a relationship with today. And I'm doing this not only to connect with you guys on a deeper level, but to give you guys some key insights and some takeaways, hopefully inspire you or give you hope in relationships in your own life. So let's get into it. Now, the first thing that stood out to me, he is completely himself, unapologetic in who he is. And that for me really stood out, not just in the beginning, but also till this day has been unwavered within who he is. And I love that quality within people. There's no second guessing the type of person that resides within. And he does this in such a way that cultivates that deeper masculine power that I actually get to perceive without him even saying a word. It's the way he handles things in life that are going to come up, whether it's conflict, whether it's him having a bad day, whether it's me having a bad day and how he deals with that. There's deep trust within who he is because there hasn't been faults in his character. Of course, human beings make mistakes, and that's going to happen, and no relationship is perfect. But when it comes to his heart, his character, his values, his morals, that has never been put up for question because he is a man who is willing to understand himself. And this really actually speaks louder than words itself. His energy is something that still to this day makes me attracted to him. And that's why, you can see a lot of videos on YouTube, online, teaching men to, spit game or how to talk to women. And that's all a show. Is that really who you are? Because if you're okay within yourself, you trust yourself, you actually know thyself, then the people you interact with are not buying tickets for that show. They're there because they want to be there. And that's something that he's stood by and I've stood behind. Now, the second quality that made me fall in love was really his emotional depth. And I think a lot of the times men are taught to kind of suppress your emotions, hide them away. Definitely don't open up to a woman because that shows weakness, and women smell weakness on a man. And I'm here to say, if it wasn't for him being able to embrace the full spectrum of emotion, I wouldn't have been able to connect to him in such a way I've never connected with another man before. And this has everything to do with how he chooses to show up in his life, regardless if I'm in his life or not. There's no ulterior motive. The motive really is to understand himself fully in this life. He understands evolution. He understands spiritual law. And one of the primary laws is you have to feel to heal. And he's not a man who's overly associated with emotion and, is feminine in that way, but he's not afraid. And a man who is not afraid of himself and the internal world that most men have to battle on a reoccurring basis, but he is a participant with his inner world. That is where magic occurs. That's where connection can grow, especially when you're getting to know a woman. I want the men to take inspiration from this trait because your emotions are not a bad thing. Your emotions are a part of this life. And for you to suppress it and for you to be this cold-hearted person who doesn't have any emotions, life doesn't faze you, we both know where the emotions got too much. Maybe you broke down. Maybe you reacted in certain ways that just came from suppression. And for a man to really get comfortable within expressing emotions with self-control, not having those emotional outbursts when it comes to anger, rage, disrespect, because maybe you're the type of man who suppresses even your own truth. And that's something else I have to add. He stands by his word to such a degree where he calls me out sometimes on it if I'm not actually showing up to my best. And he's not afraid of doing that. He's not afraid of testing me emotionally, and not testing me in a way that's poking me or making me feel less than. It's in a way that inspires me to be better, as he is a clear mirror, as I am a clear mirror for him. And we can't be in a relationship of growth when we are unwilling to hold the mirror of our flaws, hold the mirror of the other person's flaws, and not doing it in a way that makes them feel less than a human, but reminds them of their humanity. And that's something to this day that I just find so attractive, is his emotional capacity to understand himself. And because he can do that, he can then understand me. Now, the third and final trait I will be sharing with you, it has everything to do with how a man handles conflict. And that is something my partner does with such force, and that force being one that is associated with him not having any fear going into conflict. And even if he does have fear, he transmutes it into his own power. He knows how to communicate. He definitely doesn't shy away from speaking his truth. And a man who can do this, or even start practicing this, is a man who can really embody strength when it's needed. A lot of people think strength has everything to do with your physical body, but a man's strength really comes from within. And strength is built when there is resistance. And that's what conflict is. It's resistance. And the more you can show up for it with a willingness, with curiosity, and assertiveness behind what you believe, that is where you actually get to become confident in the moments that once made you want to shut down. There's a lot of men who are very fragile nowadays when it comes to communicating, when it comes to how you handle conflict. There's kind of two spectrums: the men who are totally reactive and don't know how to control themselves and their temper. And then there's the type of men who are just doormats, who will take another person's shit and accept it because it's easier than actually expressing your own truth. And I'm here to tell you that this is the key thing we as women look for in a man, is can a man hold his own during moments of heat that comes from an argument you have, of your boss challenging you, coworkers challenging you, friends challenging you, partners challenging you. What do you do in those moments? And my partner has completely taught me that it's okay to have a differing opinion. It's okay to stand your ground. And if people don't like it, so what? You're not on this life to please other people. And that's something that has been a standout within who he is. He has such courage when it comes to the things in life that would completely shatter a person's judgments, what people think, how people treat you. Do you take it on as truth? And if you do, you are to blame, not the other people who are judging you. It's the very belief you put into another person's judgments. And that's something that is a quality within masculinity, especially, that has to be at the foundation. Because if you run away from the uncomfortable, it's just gonna chase you. It's just gonna follow you. And how in those moments, it's actually teaching you far more than when things are just easy breezy, beautiful. And that's the rigidness of life. That's the edge that really allows a man to be carved and shaped into his best version. And my partner has shown me that again and again and again. So I hope you guys liked today's video, and who knows, maybe one day I will have my partner on my channel with me and we can do a video together, talk about certain topics that would be very valid and important for men to hear. So if you guys would like that, let me know in the comments down below. And if you guys liked today's video, give it a like, hit the subscribe button, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.